Howdy! How's all my peeps in YouTube land? My goodness gracious. You'll be seeing this on Monday. This is pre-recorded. I know a lot of people get confused about live streams and streaming and all that sort of thing. Most always, just so you understand, most always my live stream is Monday night, 8 p.m. Everything else I put up, just about, 98% of the stuff that I put up right now is pre-recorded and then released. It'll say streamed, but it wasn't a live stream, okay? It was a private stream that I made public when I release it. So there you got that straightened out. Now, you'll remember a couple weeks ago, we was working on this steampunk piece that I did with this pretty picture. It's got this fish down here in it with a little submarine man on it. And I did all kinds of modeling paste with paint in it. I put keys and gears and chains and some cheesecloth that I distressed and some little pieces of paper I distressed and stuff all in this, and put some pearls in it and some chain, all kinds of stuff, and got this all ready to rock. And I said, now I got to get a frame and I got to get a mat. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it from here. Well, I went shopping and I didn't find the kind of frame that I wanted. I did find a shadow box frame, but I didn't find it in the color that I wanted. However, I figured out a way to make this all just work really well. Mats, no. I did not like any of the mats that I found to go with it at all. Either they weren't exactly the right size. I'd have to have something custom cut, and that was going to cost big money, or I couldn't find the right color. It was just an issue and a half all the way around. So, hey, Brenda's crafty. Be like Brenda. I figured out how I want to mat this up around the edges of it, really make it look distressed, really make it pop. And the frame, we're going to start with this frame, and I'll show you why. This frame is in a whole bunch of pieces. It has these rings that you put down over the picture around the edges, and you can make it deeper or narrower as the case may be. That's one ring right there. Now, it has 3 of these rings, and then it has the frame itself. And we're going to put these rings down on here just to show you how this thing stacks up. Oops, got that one upside down. Let's try that this way. There we go. There's that ring. And then we got this ring. This is the last of the 3 rings that go up there on top of the picture, just like that. Now, you'd say, well, gee, Brenda, shouldn't you put the mat down first? Well, not necessarily. Because if you remember yesterday's show, I was doing these pieces of wood up where I did the engraving on the wood through a stencil, and then I told you I was going to paint it and I was going to use these pieces in a future project. Well, here we go, because after I got all done there with the stenciling on these things, I went back and I distressed the edges of them. You might notice, if we can get that up there under the camera, on the edges of it, I just sanded the far out of it, made it all rough and craggy on the edges. Then I went over it with some Caribbean blue dye. And over top of the blue dye, I put silver alcohol ink just to make it pop. Because I wanted to get it down towards the color. If you see here, I wanted to get it toward the color of this light blue of the sea in this picture. And I cut 4 pieces of this wood, and I did them all pretty much the same way. There's slight variations in everything. But there's another piece of it. Now that one will go at the bottom down here. Get my frame to sit there where it's supposed to sit. There we go. Then I've got a couple sides here to put in it. There's one side. Now I'm going to glue these down. I'm just retrofitting them right at the present time just to give you an idea how this is going to go together. See, we got a top and a bottom and 2 sides. Just like that. Now, doesn't that make that picture pop? Makes it stand out. I'm going to move this camera down just a little bit for a minute here just to get the glare off of the picture so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. I think that helped a little bit maybe. Maybe if I move a light a little bit. I don't know if I'm making it better or worse. There, I think that helped. But that shows you how it's going to look. Then we're going to put the frame up over the top of the glass and the frame itself. But I wanted this sitting here so that you could see exactly where these sides is going to fit in to this frame. And I'm going to glue them down with E6000 so that they're going to stay put and they ain't going to go nowhere. Before I do that, though, all these areas around the edge of it here where the white is showing, we're going to change the color on that a little bit. I've got some of this Magicals Misty paint. I'm going to shake these bottles up a little bit here. Get this all mixed in good. We're going to spritz around the edges of that a little bit. Give it a little more color. Because I'm not real fond of that white color showing up there against that blue like that. So I'm just going to spritz it in. Just give it a little more color. Now, any place that kind of puddles, I'll just go over that and blot it up just a little bit there. Now, that's the green down on it. Now we're going to, now wait a minute. Yeah, that's the green. And we've got this blue color over here. I'm going to go after it with that. Just kind of give it a blue-green tinge around the edges. There. That looks good. Then I'm going to go in with the paper towel, and I'm just going to blot. Because we don't want it pooling. We're just giving it a little color. Right around the edges. See how much nicer it looks? And that white was kind of a glaring white. And I see maybe up in there in that corner, it might need just another little spritz. There. Make sure we get these corners. There. That made it look good. Sometimes looking at it in the camera lens gives me a little different view of it than if I'm just looking at it here on the desk. Makes me see it a little bit better. So there we have that. Now we're ready to glue down. So let's get the E6000 from here at the top of the desk. And I'm going to take these one at a time. And I'm just going to put a little E6000 on the back. And then I'll turn her over. And just sit it right down there. Now these don't have to be right up against the other ones. It's supposed to look distressed. That's the idea. It's steampunk. It's not supposed to look like mass manufacture. It's steampunk. Come over to this side and grab this one. Put some glue on it. Slip it back down in there, just like so. Press it down. Now come over to this side. I think that just makes it pop. It looks way better than the mats that I looked at. The mats gave it more of a, I don't know, commercial feel rather than steampunk. It wasn't giving it the right view that I wanted it to have. So when you're working on a project, don't be afraid to change your mind. Make it look the way you want it to look in the end. Your project will talk to you if you listen to it, and it'll tell you what it wants to say and how it wants you to make it accomplish it. So there, we got those all glued down good now with the E6000. Let me put the lid back on the glue so it don't seep and leak all over everything. We don't need that. All right, now we got some glass. But I sit down back here so I'll not break it. Lord have mercy. Where did I put it now? Has that ever happened to you? I ain't been out of this chair since I moved it. So I know it didn't get up and walk away by itself. We're crying out loud. Well, what in the world did I do with it? I hate it when that happens. Now, I know it's glass, so I'm probably looking right at it and can't see it. There's the frame. There it is. Yep, I was right. I was looking right square at it. For goodness sakes. That'll aggravate you. Now, we lay the glass down on top of the little frames there. Now, I could take one of them out of there if I wanted to, but I ain't going to. I think it looks good standing up like that over top of it. And then we've got the back. And it's a frame that goes right down over top of the glass and them sides. Make sure they've got all the little turny things out of the way there. I'll fit it right down over that. Now, this I've got sidewise. So we're going to set it so that it's to the top. Let me just double check. Yes, that's to the top. All right. Nestle it all down in there good. It's got these little pieces here, these little metal things that you got to turn. Well, let me take something, get into that a little bit. Now, why are you giving me a hard time? There we go. And there's two on each side, so we get all of them twisted the right direction. Got your little hangers up here to hang it on the wall, just like so. And there, well, shoot, I'm gonna have to take it apart because my glue slid on one of my things. See, now that's why you're watching, so you see how to fix little things like this. Well, unfasten the back of it like that. Take the top off of it again. We'll set the top down here. And pick this glass up now. That moved. We may have to wait to fasten her up until it sits. I thought that glue might grab it quicker than that. Come on, sit up there against that frame like you're supposed to. The rest of them seem to be hanging on, but that one wants to flip on me. Okay, now, glass back on there again. Put the frame back over the top of it. Come on, step down over that. There we go. snap it all into place there. Now, instead of turning it over, I'm just going to use my fingers and fasten them things on the back so I don't move it, and that way the glue will dry. There we go. Getting all the little things moved into position on the back of it. Come on, turn. So yeah, Brenda, easy for you to say. Trying to do it in the dark, basically. There we go. There. Now, that'll all dry. All that glue in there will dry, and those things ain't going to move around no more. And now let me get my computer working back up here again so I can see what's going on. Now, you see how the little gear things that I drew in the wood, and then I put the ink to it. I glued them down to the picture. I put a little color spritz there on that white so that white didn't just glare. Put the nice frame on it. And there you have it. There is the steampunk picture. All completed. This will end up on my Etsy store. I've been putting stuff up on the Etsy store now for a week. So if you haven't been over there lately, you might want to go and take a look and see what all I've got up there on the Etsy store. The URL is in the description of the video. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up and share it on your social media so everybody gets to enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel, and I hope you're active. And, you know, give lots of comments, give lots of likes on the videos. I've taught a lot of things here. So there's something to get your creative juices flowing. And with all that being said, there's only one thing left to say, and that is Brenda is crafty. Be like Brenda.